الحمد لله الذي أنزل على عبده الكتاب واحلم يحل له الواجه أحمده سبحانه وتعالى وأشكره وهو أهل حمد وثناء وأشهد أن لا إله إلا وحده لا شريك له وأشهد أن محمدا عبده ورسوله ومصطفى اللهم صل وسلم على عبدك ورسولك محمد وأهله وصحبه وسلم. Alhamdulillah, we thank Allah Almighty all the time, and we're seeking refuge in Allah Almighty. A'udhu billahi minash shaitanir rajim. Bismillahir rahmanir rahim. Because shaitan, if we're not seeking refuge in Allah Almighty against shaitan, then he is able to interfere with our minds and cause confusion. And throughout the Old Testament and New Testament and Quran, it has been the same message. Beware of shaitan. Shaitan was able to trick our grandparents, Adam and Eve. He was able to trick so many people and to cause so many people to go astray only because they don't have an understanding about themselves. Why do you think that Allah Almighty would send 124,000 people in the world to teach us about that we are veiled from, that we cannot see, and don't address us to learn about ourselves? We come through the wombs of our mothers, and we see with our senses, but there is more to what we see and what we can touch. And that's why all the prophets came to say about human beings that there is more to you than meets the eye. And the confusion is not in that words were tampered with in the Old Testament to divide the people and conquer the people. Also tampering with the New Testament, the gospel of Jesus, and the laws of Moses, because that could have never meant anything at all if the people knew who they were. You know your name, you know that you are a female or a male. No one can say to you if you know you are a cat or a rat. It's only if we are confused in our minds and we don't know, am I a human being, am I a frog, or am I a mosquito, that someone can say what you are. But if you know, even if they do anything to try to trick you, you still know. Most of human beings, we go to churches, we go to synagogues, we go to the mosque. For what? We hear the message, we read our Old Testament, our New Testament, and our Qurans. For what? And yet the society reflects a serious misunderstanding. We see our youth in the streets killing themselves, having no respect for life. We find politicians coming, knocking on our doors, saying, "Put me in office, I'm going to change your life." Nothing changes. It changes, but it gets worse. How is that when all the Jews have Torahs, all the Christians have Bibles, all the Muslims have Qurans? Some people having more than one Quran, more than one Bible, more than one Torah. Going to the mosque, going to the synagogue, going to the churches, and still corruption in our society. Are we to blame the books? Okay, the original language was in a Semitic language. We can't read Semitic languages. When they translate, a lot of the words were lost. Can we blame the fact that there was the interpretation and the translations we lost? Is that we're going to say to our Lord, oh my Lord, I couldn't read Arabic, I couldn't read the Semitic languages. When they translated, I got a different meaning I didn't understand. And that can never be excused for a people that come into this world knowing their Lord. Allah Almighty brought us from endless territories to be in existence, to know about those territories, to know about that power that He put in us, so we may know our Lord. And yet we are confused, and yet we are in doubts, and yet we have no power, and yet we are unhappy, we are depressed, we are thinking in lack, we're praying only for money, not praying for our Lord to grant us understanding, deep, serious understanding of ourselves. The power is within us. The kingdom of heaven is within us. Don't you think Allah Almighty, do you think Allah Almighty would send 124,000 prophets and they all saying something different? That's because of our different understanding, our weak understanding. And so, the Christians are not accepting the Jews are not accepting the Christians, the Muslims are not accepting the Jews or the Christians, and vice versa. So we have so many different sects of Jews, so many different sects of Christians, and so many different sects of Muslims. It's crazy. It is crazy. All saying, my Lord is better than your Lord. Yet all of us are drinking from the same Lake Michigan here in Chicago, and that's just ridiculous of saying that the water I drink is better than the water you drink, and it's from the same source. That's how ridiculous we have become as a righteous so-called people. We have no self-resources. And that's why we don't have the ability to be good people on a consistent basis. That's why we don't have the ability to be patient on a consistent basis. That's why we don't have the ability to look to our Lord and know that our Lord is going to give us what we ask. And if we don't get that, He's going to give us something better. No, we begin to look to this world. We begin to look to our alderman or our mayor or our governor or our president. We begin to look to our employers for our sustenance. And so Allah Almighty leaves us to ourselves because we have forgotten about our Lord. All of the prophets said the same thing. There's no God but God. They never said anything different. Why do we think the message is different? And it's been the same throughout time. We are still responsible for what we understand. We are still responsible not to put anything in our minds or in our bodies or to treat anybody any kind of way. There is a suffering for that. Whenever we do something against ourselves, the wrong thinking, we do something put in our body, the wrong type of things other than what we should have in our bodies, there's always going to be a crisis in our lives.